Hey guys, how are you? So this is me, Proud Jain. Well, as you can see, today's topic it is spirituality versus religion. What is the difference between spirituality and religion? That I'll be discussing in this video. So I've taken down certain notes, and in this video I'll be referring to these notes and making this video. So and one more thing, guys. If in case I forget some points, don't worry. I will definitely upload them in one of my next videos. But then right now, as of now, I've taken down certain notes. So let's discuss and analyze. Okay, let's try to understand calmly and let's analyze what's the difference between spirituality and religion. Okay, coming with the first point. Totally there are 12 points over here. Sorry, not 12, 10 points. Yeah, I'm going to I'm going to mention 12 points, I mean 12 subdivisions. But then okay, the mainly comparing spirituality and religion, mainly it will be up to 9 to 10 points, but then overall there'll be 12 subdivisions. Okay, let's begin. The first point: spirituality is about seeking, while religion is about believing. When we talk about spirituality, see, here in the eastern countries, especially in India, when we say dharma, what is the meaning of dharma? Dharma does not mean religion. The actual meaning of dharma, it means trying to understand what is the nature of reality. So trying to understand the nature of reality is called as dharma. Religion means, like, it is like religion have got, I mean, I'm not talking about any one particular religion over here. Generally when we say religion, basically religion is, it's about having a very fixed mindset. For example, see, as I told you, spirituality is about seeking, while religion is about believing. In spirituality, we are taught to go and seek the truth for ourselves. And one more thing, here, especially here in India, we have never been a land of believers. We have always been a land of seekers. Like, even if you have watched a lot of videos of Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, okay? If you have watched a lot of videos about, Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, he has also mentioned this. Especially here in India, when we say this Sanatana Dharma, we have got 4 Sanatana Dharma. Which are they? 4 Sanatan Dharma hai. 4 Sanatana Dharmas are there. Which are they? Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism and Jainism. Okay? So these 4 are the 4 Sanatana Dharmas, which means these 4 are not religions, these 4 are dharmas. And the main meaning of dharma is to try to understand and to seek the truth for ourselves. Now see, one more thing, when we say seeking the truth, everyone can find the truth in their own way. It does not mean that just because you're trying to understand the truth in one certain way does not mean that everyone else also has to do the same thing. I mean, see, as long as everyone are trying to seek the truth, they have the complete right to seek the truth for themselves in their own way. Okay, so this is spirituality. So basically, in spirituality, we are taught to seek the truth for ourselves. We are taught to think for ourselves. Okay, we have been taught to think for ourselves. We have been taught to apply logic, practicality, scientific knowledge, and also we have been taught to think practically, and and try to go away from all types of superstitions. So basically this is spirituality. So basically what spirituality says is that go and seek the truth for yourself, and whatever makes sense to you, whatever makes logic, and whatever makes practical sense to you, you can go and gently you can go and embrace that philosophy. This is spirituality. On the other hand, when we talk about religion, religion is basically like, it is about, it is only about believing, like, like from the childhood, children are taught that okay, that you have to believe only this, you have to believe only that, you know uh, you know uh, uh, in religion, from a very young age, little children and kids are, little children and kids have been taught that, only bow down to this particular god, only believe in this god, only believe in that god, don't bow to any other gods. All these things have been taught in religion, and this is the reason, and this is the reason due to which normally, when we talk about religion and religious people, in religions, normally and generally, people happen to be very, very fanatic and dogmatic. Okay, fanatic means like, that I mean fanaticism means that, people who are not ready to accept others points of views, people like, people who are like completely stubborn, completely very stubborn, and only hold on to their ideas, and only hold on to their ideas, that whatever they have been taught since their childhood, they only stick to those ideologies without even trying to understand that there could be some logic, even without even trying to understand that there could be some logic even in other people's points of views. Okay, so this is what religion does. In religion, it is all about, believing. It just say, okay, see, you're born in this religion, you have to believe this, you have to believe that, whether or not it makes sense to you doesn't matter. You just have to believe, that, as they say, just have faith, only have faith. It makes sense to you or not doesn't matter, just have faith. So in religion, I'm sorry to say this, but in religion, normally, people, they tend to keep away from all kind of, they tend to keep distance from practicality. They tend to, like, what do you say, they try to suspend all kinds of logic, reasoning, they try to suspend all kinds of scientific analysis, and they say just have faith. आपको आपको सेंसिबल लगे या ना लगे, सिर्फ आपको आंख बंद करके बिलीव करना है. You just need to have faith, just believe. So religion teaches us to believe, whether or not it makes sense. Religion teaches us to believe, whereas spirituality teaches us to seek the truth. Now, speaking about the second point, spirituality is about exploring and experiencing life, while religion is only about getting attached to one single book or one philosophy. As I just told you, in spirituality, in spirituality, it says that we need to go outside, we have to explore the world. We need to go out of our comfort zone, explore the world, and we have to try to acquire knowledge by our observations. Okay, when we go out in nature, when we go to the forests, when we go, when we go out to the nature, or let's say when we travel to different countries, we go to different places, we meet new people, and see, not only about meeting people, or like, not only about, going to new places. Generally in life, this good, bad, right or wrong, everything, none of them is absolutely true. Everything everything can take a relative turn. So basically, in spirituality, as it says that we need to go out and experience life for ourselves, which means that we need to go observe. We need to have strong observation skills. We need to go observe things in life and try to understand it, and whatever makes sense to us, that we need to embrace, it as our philosophy. This is what spirituality tells us. Whereas in religion, basically, generally speaking, when we talk about religion, it is, it is like, only getting attracted to one single book. In religion, basically, what they say is that, every truth, all the truth, will only come from one particular book. जैसे कि रिलीजन में लोग क्या करते हैं, लोग ये समझते हैं कि इस पूरे दुनिया में और इस पूरे के पूरे ब्रह्मांड में जो भी सत्य है, वो सारे के सारे सत्य सिर्फ एक पर्टिकुलर किताब से आते हैं. जैसे कि कुछ लोग बोल सकते हैं कि सिर्फ पूरे के पूरे ब्रह्मांड का सच्चाई सिर्फ बाइबल में है. कुछ लोग कहेंगे कि पूरे की पूरे सच्चाई सिर्फ कुरान में है. और कुछ लोग कहेंगे कि पूरे की पूरे सच्चाई सिर्फ जैन धर्म का समय सार शास्त्र ग्रंथ में है. हाँ, तो मतलब ये सारे चीज़ सिखाते हैं. और एक और बात बताओ, जैन धर्म एक्चुअली रिलीजन नहीं है, जैन धर्म स्पिरिचुअलिटी है. इसके बारे में मैं इस वीडियो का एंड में बताऊंगा. अभी हम बाकी पॉइंट्स के साथ प्रोसीड करेंगे. ओके, नाउ विल जस्ट प्रोसीड विद द नेक्स्ट स्टेप्स. ओके, आई मीन विद द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट्स. ओके, सो एज आई वाज टेलिंग यू, इन स्पिरिचुअलिटी, see, you need to understand that truth does not come from any particular book. Whether the book is a religious book, whether the book is a comics book, whether the book is like, let's say some scientific some scientific encyclopedia, or let's say some dictionary, or let's say some thesaurus, etc. Truth and absolute truth does not come from any one particular book. And unfortunately, in religions, generally people are taught that, the entire truth of this world comes only from this single book. So even here, by doing this, what happens? Only if you get stuck to one particular book, only if you get stuck to one particular shastra, then what will happen? Even this can develop a very dogmatic and a very fanatic behavior in you. So see, once you become fanatic and dogmatic, you will never understand practicality, you will never understand logic, you will not even understand scientific reasoning, you will not even understand the truth even if it is presented to you. One more thing is that, if you just get attached to one book, if you get attached only to one book, like, okay, truth comes only and only from this book, and from nowhere else. If this mentality you have got, then, no matter whatever you observe in life, even if you observe certain things in life right in front of your eyes, even in front of your eyes, you happen to notice something, but still you will consider that to be false because your religious book says it is false. I'll just give you an example. Let's say, for example, okay, I'm just giving you an example. Okay, in religion there are, like, different types of religion. And in religion, for example, I'm telling you, let's say, for example, some religion will say fire is hot. See, this statement regarding fire is hot, I'm just giving you my example. Okay, I'm not referring this to any one particular religion. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. I'm just trying to articulate my way to you. Okay, I'm just trying to express I'm just trying to express and articulate to you my opinions about how, about how religions work. Okay. So for example, in religions, some religions will say the fire is hot, and some religions will say the fire is cold. And then, both of them, they will start quarreling. No, we say fire is hot. No, we say fire is cold. No, we say fire is hot, cold. This is what happens in religion. Whereas in spirituality, spirituality will go and tell, please go touch the fire, go touch the fire and then decide whether, please go touch the fire and then decide whether or not the fire is hot or not. This is what spirituality does. Spirituality में क्या होते हैं? Spirituality में spirituality हमको ये बोलेंगे कि अगर आपको पता लगाना है कि अग्नि गर्म है या नहीं, आप जाके उसको छू के देख लीजिए. यही होता है spirituality. And then once you touch the fire, when you feel the heat, when you get burnt, then you'll understand, okay, fire is hot. So basically in spirituality, I'm just giving you an example. For example, let's say the fire is itself life. Okay, I'm just comparing fire for this entire universe and life. Okay, let's say for example, okay, you want to know about fire. What is fire? Is it hot, cold? You want to know. In spirituality, they will tell you, go touch it, experience for yourself, and then try to understand whether it is hot or cold. You decide for yourself after going and touching it. This is what spirituality says. Whereas in religion, they will tell you, because in the book it is written it is hot, it means it is hot. And let's say in some religion, because in the book it is mentioned that fire is always hot, that is why we believe fire is hot. But apart from the religious scriptures, they have no other idea or proof as to why the fire is hot. So this is what happens in religion. And yes, see, certain things mentioned in religious books may contain a lot of truths and may contain a lot of facts. Certain scriptures and certain parts of every religious book does contain one, two or three or four facts of life, which is not only just a belief, but which is also practically true. Yes, religions may have a few parts here and there which are which can be applied in reality, but then on the whole, religion is about beliefs. And it's about beliefs and only sticking onto one particular book. And then when this happens, even when facts are shown to you, you will refuse to accept the facts. Let's say for example, someone or some person who has been some person who has been indoctrinated with religion since a very young age, later once he is a big man, even if you show him the facts, even after you showing him the facts, and even after you giving him practical evidence, and even after he seeing the facts, he will still be in complete denial. Why? Because even though he has seen the fact, still he will say this is wrong and that is wrong. Why? Because though whatever he has seen, he is actually seeing it, but in his religious book it is mentioned that it is mentioned that this thing is not true. That is why he is not able to accept that. So those people following religion, even when you show them certain facts, even after seeing the facts, if they feel that their scriptures do not support this, they will still refuse the facts. Even after seeing the facts for themselves, they will still say that these are not facts. Why? Because in their book it is mentioned that. And this is what will happen if you follow religion in general. Okay, I'm speaking in general terms. So if you follow religion, this is what is these are the things what is most likely going to happen to you. On the other hand, when you talk about spirituality, it's about you go observe life, experience life for yourself, and whatever makes sense to you, accept that. And let's say something might be true, let's say something might be 100% true, but then you have not got a logical reason for that. So until you get a logical reason for that, you don't have to believe it. Don't believe it, and don't even disbelieve it. Just keep trying to find evidence and proof for, just keep trying to find the evidence and proof for the truth. And once you find the evidence, once you feel it is logical and sensible, then you accept the truth. So this is spirituality. Okay, now coming to the third point. Okay, this is quite important. Spirituality respects all forms of life, while religion normally believes in a hierarchy. In spirituality, we respect all forms of life. Okay, spirituality teaches us to respect all forms of life, be it human beings, be it animals, be it birds, insects, bugs, plants, even fish, whatever it is, even the bacteria, the tiny microorganisms which can be seen only through the microscope, even to all these life forms, spirituality gives value to them. But whereas in religion, normally it is a hierarchy. In religion, normally it is like, that it is like, okay, we as humans, we are the top, and below the humans comes animals, then comes birds, then insects, then like, maybe plants or whatever. So basically, in religion, yes, even in religion, even in some religions, they say, okay, that you should not harm animals, that you should respect animals, you should treat animals with, that you should treat animals with kindness and politeness. All these things also religion does teach. But end of the day, if you have observed religions, normally they say that, okay, human beings are the most superior, and below human beings comes others. And one more thing, a lot of religions will say that we are pro-life, we support life, we support, we say that everyone has the right to live. Religion says, to say, just for the sake of saying, religion actually says, live and let live, Gio or Jine do. For the sake of saying, religion actually says this. But if you look at, if you look at the truth practically, if you look at the, if you look at the ground reality, okay, in religions people might say that, okay, that we have to respect all, that we have to respect all forms of life. But then, actually in religions, they are not pro-life. Religions are actually pro-human life. Okay? Spirituality is pro-life. Religion is only pro-human life. Spirituality is pro-life. So in spirituality, human beings, animals, plants, insects, birds, bugs, everything, trees, grasses, everything, bacteria, anything which has got life, anything which is alive, which has got conscious, anything which can feel pleasure and pain, are all given respect and value in spirituality. Whereas in religion, though they may respect all forms of life, there is always a hierarchy. Okay, human beings first, animals second, then this. That is the reason, because in religions, people feel that human beings are the, that human beings are the most ultimate, the topmost. That's why they think that it is okay for them to kill animals for food. That's why they think that, that's why they think that it is okay to kill birds for food, all these things. And one more thing, in religion, people also know that people, religious people know that both humans and animals can feel pleasure and pain, and in some cases animals can feel more pain than humans. But yet in religions, they will say, okay, for food you can hunt animals, for food you can kill animals. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is, in religions, people have no problem killing another living being as long as it is not a human being. जब तक कोई भी जीव इंसान नहीं है, उस जीव को जान से मारना जान से मारना ठीक समझता है रिलीजन्स में. Like, like, why do you think a lot of people eat non-veg? Why do you think, a lot of people feel that, why do you think a lot of people feel that it is completely fine for humans to eat non-veg? Why? Because they feel that, okay, we are human beings, we are above animals, birds and all other creatures. We are on the, we are on the so-called top of the food chain. That is why we have got the right to hunt and kill animals. This is what most people will think. But whereas spirituality teaches that whether you're human being, animal, bird, insect or bug, all of them are living beings. All of them can experience pleasure and pain, and therefore we have to give respect and value every form of life just as much as you value yours. जितना आप अपना ज़िंदगी को वैल्यू करते हो, उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंस और वैल्यू आपको हर जीवों को देना पड़ेगा. यही सिखाता है स्पिरिचुअलिटी. दिस इज़ व्हाट स्पिरिचुअलिटी टीचेस अस. सो इन स्पिरिचुअलिटी we have been taught, okay, see, in this world we have to live, we have to survive, and of course along with living and surviving, we also should enjoy. Okay, that's there, that's fine, enjoying is fine. But along with enjoying, spirituality says that try to reduce or minimize the amount of violence you can cause due to your enjoyment, especially when it comes to food, especially when it comes to what you consume as food. See, a lot of violence which happens in our daily life is due to what we eat. Okay, it's due to what we eat, what we drink, what we consume into our body for our taste and entertainment, for our taste, for satisfying our hunger and for satisfying our taste buds. A lot of violence happens mainly through our diet, mainly through our food. So that's why spirituality says normally spirituality says as human beings we should try to be more vegetarian, because there is less violence as compared to eating non-veg. For those animals such as for those carnivorous animals such as lions, tigers, crocodile, sharks, panthers, and let's say anaconda, alligator, Komodo dragon, all these non-vegetarian, all these carnivorous animals, for them, they cannot digest vegetarian food. They don't have that digestive system in them which can digest plants, fruits and vegetables. That is why they hunt other animals, and that is why these animals generally eat meat. But then for us humans, our digestive system is actually meant to be a herbivore. The human digestive system is actually meant to consume pure vegetarian and a pure vegan diet. So that is why for human beings, we as human beings, and especially today, after all these modern technologies here, after so much of these comforts, so much of these luxuries are here, the least we can do to cause less harm to this world is we should go vegetarian. And this is what spirituality teaches us. In spirituality, see, now I'm sure, sorry guys, now I'm sure a lot of people, many of you might say, oh, you're eating vegetarian, you're eating vegan, but what about plants? Even plants have got lives. Let me tell you this. I just now told you, in spirituality, we are taught that, see, in this life, we cannot live without causing any form, we cannot live without causing violence unknowingly. Knowingly, we might not want to do, but then unknowingly, a lot of violence happens. Okay, unknowingly, in our daily life, we do commit a lot of violence, minor or major, but then we do commit violence. So what spirituality says is that, spirituality says just try to reduce the amount of violence you can do. So when we eat vegetarian food, yes, we might be killing the plants and eating the plants. But then, unlike unlike animals and birds, plants have got only one sense. That is why spirituality says that there are actually there are actually five types of living beings: एक इंद्रिय, दो इंद्रिय, तीन इंद्रिय, चार इंद्रिय और पंच इंद्रिय. So there are living creatures, living beings which have got only one sense. There are living creatures with two sense, three sense, four sense and five senses. So if we have to eat to survive, if we have to eat to live, at least what we can do is we can consume those forms of life which have which has got only one sense, and that is plants, fruits, vegetables. So basically plants and trees, they have got only one sense. That is why when we when we do farming, when we plow the land, when we grow crops, and then when we eat fruits and vegetables, and when we plow the land to make the rice paddy, etc. All these things, there is hinsa, there is violence going on, but then it is called as aramba himsa. Aramba means minimum violence. Why? Because minimum violence. Why? Because plants, grass, trees are all one sense living beings. They have only got one sense, which means they cannot feel the same amount of pain which we as five sense creatures feel. So for us human beings, animals, birds, etc., we all have got five senses. So how much ever pain we as humans feel, how much ever pleasure and pain, happiness and sadness we as humans feel, the same amount of pleasure and pain, happiness, sadness and joy, etc., even the animals and birds can feel. Even the fishes in the ocean, even the fishes in the lakes can feel the same amount of pleasure and pain, just like us humans. But then because in religion, people are taught that okay, we as human beings, we are the superior, we are the highest. That's why in religion, normally people think that it is okay to kill anything as long as it is not human being. So any creature, any animal, any living being, any living creature which is not a human being, generally those living beings are given a much lower status. Those living beings are given a much lower category as compared to the human beings in religion. So basically, as I told you, religion follows the method of hierarchy: superior, inferior, higher, lower, superior, inferior. So basically, even when respecting all forms of life, religion always they have got this hierarchy, whereas spirituality says that you need to respect all forms of life: human, animal, bird, insect, whatever, anything which is alive, anything which has got life, you need to respect all forms of life. So this is taught in spirituality. Coming to the fourth point, okay, spirituality is about going inwards, while religion is about going outwards. In spirituality, what happens? We try to understand our true self. Okay, we try to understand life. We try to understand the world by going out, exploring, going into hardships, going into difficulties, going into wilderness, exploring life, exploring both uh, the happy side, the sad side, the bright side, and the bright side and the dark sides of life. Everything we try to understand in spirituality, and along with sorry and along with all these, even spirituality teaches us that we need to focus on our inward, we need to focus on our inner self, because we need to understand ourselves also. Okay, fine, we might have done a lot of exploration outside, but then most importantly, we need to know who we are. We need to understand who we truly are. and for that we need to do meditation. Okay, so basically spirituality always promotes us to do meditation. Why do we do meditation? Meditation is not prayers. Okay, meditation is not praying. Meditation means, trying to go into yourself, trying to feel your true self. See, this body, this physical body, this eyes, this eyes, nose, mouth, ears, skin, this hair, your fingers, all these are physical. These are called pudgal. This is body is pudgala. It is a physical object. It is like a physical vessel. This is not who, this is not who we truly are. So what are you exactly? What are you exactly? Are you this body? Are you this mind? Or are you the consciousness? Who are you? What are you? And who are you? Okay, who are you? You might know. More than who are you? What exactly are you? What are you? Okay, what are you? What are we? So in order to understand who we truly are and what we truly are, this is the reason why we do meditation. This is the reason, this is the reason why we do, different types of meditation. This is the reason, why we do that, that Om chanting. We say that Om. Why do we do that? Om is the sound of nature. Om is a very natural sound. Om is not a word invented by anyone. Om is a it's a natural sound. If you actually observe life properly, a lot of sounds which you hear in nature, they actually sound Om only. They actually sound like Om. So this Om is a natural sound. So when we do this Om recitation, what we are trying to do is, we are trying to go inwards and we are trying to understand naturally who we are. Naturally, naturally, and what do you say? Ever since we have come into this world, we have seen a lot of things externally, but then who we are, who we truly are, we never try to understand. This is the reason why we do meditation. And when you do meditation, you happen to go inwards. You don't go outwards. You go inwards. You go into yourself and you try to feel your true self. This is called meditation. And meditation is what is taught in spirituality and in all types of spiritual practices. Whenever you follow any kind of spiritual, whenever you follow any kind of spiritual philosophy, we are taught to do meditation. On the other hand, speaking about religion teaches us to pray. Religion always teaches us to pray outwards. Okay, though you may close your eyes, but then you will say, okay, pray to that God, pray to this God. Say, oh Lord, please help me. Oh Lord, please bless me. So in religion, basically what you're doing is, you're always depending on some higher power. You're always trying to depend on, some other entity for your support. So basically in religion, directly or indirectly, you have been taught that you are never self-sufficient by yourself. You always need someone to guide you. I mean, I'm talking about spiritual path. Okay, I'm talking about trying to understand those things which are beyond the physical world. So speaking about trying to understand yourself in religion, basically you're taught that you always have to depend on a higher power. You always have to depend yourself on some higher entity or some higher power so that you can live happily. Whereas in spirituality, it is taught that, okay, when we talk about actual spirituality, in all these spiritual philosophies, we are taught that, see, no one can give you anything and no one can take away anything from you. No one can give you anything and no one can take anything from you. You have the power to acquire anything you want in this world by yourself. And for that, you need to understand and realize your true inner strength. You need to understand who you truly are. And for that, you need to do meditation. And when you do meditation, when you go inwards, you start experiencing the happiness. You start experiencing the joy of knowing who you are. And when this happens, the universe, the day you are able to feel your true self, when you do meditation, and the day you are able to feel your true self, that time the amount of joy which you get, at that moment the universe will pour its blessings upon you. The entire universe will pour its blessings upon you, because you have been able to understand your true nature. So this is what spirituality is. Whereas in religion they will say, okay, pray externally, and even the prayers, even when you do prayers, you sing the religious hymns, okay, you sing the religious songs, you sing the religious hymns, you say all those prayer songs you sing with with or without music. But then all the prayers all the mantras which you do, it is all external. It is like you are like even even when you do mantra jap, even when you do that mantra jap on the mala, and even when you even when you go to religious places to do prayers. So basically what you are doing is sorry guys, you are trying to depend on some higher power to give you strength. This is what religion teaches you. Whereas in spirituality, it makes you understand that you have the power within yourself. You have not realized it. The true strength, true happiness, the true joy lies all within us. It's just that we have not experienced it. This is what spirituality teaches us. Okay, so that is why in spirituality it is about going inwards, whereas in religion it is about praying outwards. It is even in spirituality, when we say Om, even when we say Om, we might be saying the sound Om externally, but then that sound actually helps us to go more inwards. Okay, when we say Om, it actually helps us to go inwards and try to understand who we truly are. And even when we use the mala to do, let's say for example, Namokar Mahamantra Jap, okay, even when we use the mala, when we do that Namokar Mantra Jap and Gayatri Mantra Jap, etc., okay, we might be reciting the mantras aloud, okay, we might be reciting the mantras loudly, but then those mantras, that sound, the sound effect of those mantras actually helps us to go within us, and also tries to help us realize our true power. So this is the reason of this is the reason of doing mantra jap and Om recitation in spirituality. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is, in spirituality it is all about going inwards. It's all about going inwards, and it's about realizing and recognizing your true strength. Okay, this is spirituality. Whereas in religion it is about you have to depend on some higher power so that you can be happy and peaceful. Okay, so this is the fourth point. Now coming to the fifth point. Yes, now coming to the fifth point, this is very important. Both genders are respected in spirituality, while in religion normally there is always the male superiority. when you talk about spirituality, when you talk about spiritual philosophies, both the genders, male and female, both the genders are given equal amount of respect. दोनों पुरुष और स्त्रियों को बराबर का सम्मान दिया है स्पिरिचुअलिटी में. Whereas honestly speaking, don't mind, no offense, honestly speaking, if you look at religions generally as a whole, religion is normally male dominated. Religion is normally like basically directly or indirectly, it always says that the males, okay, the men, it always says that the male gender has the upper hand than the female gender. This is what is taught directly or indirectly in religions. Whereas in spirituality, whether you're a man, whether you're a lady, okay, both man or woman, or let's say man or lady, boy or girl, both of them are given equal respect in spirituality. In spirituality there is no superior complex and inferior complex of the genders. Whereas in religions, most of the time and generally in religions, normally the females are normally the females are considered to be inferior to the males. So this is what is normally taught in religions, that they say that in religion there is always this concept of having an alpha male, okay, that the leader of the house, the ownership of the house should always be of the man. The man needs to lead the family, the man needs to lead his business, and the man needs to control everyone else. The man has to be the head of the house, the man has to take ownership of everything. The females, they should only obey the males. These things are there in religion, whereas this kind of concept does not exist in spirituality. In spirituality, it is only like men or women, boy, girl, male, female, whatever it is, both of you are equal and both of you are unique in your own way. Both of you have got your own significance, and therefore neither of you is superior or inferior to the other. Both male and female, neither of them are superior or inferior to the other. This is what is taught in spirituality, unlike in religions, because in religions normally they say that okay, males are higher. And one more thing, because even speaking about the past, if you have noticed, normally there were only plenty of kings. There were kings, there were emperors, but there were hardly any queens. I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is, people have given recognition to a lot of kings and emperors, but then people have not given too much of value to any queens. So this is the reason. And even if you see, most of the religions, all their sacred books, all their holy books, all their granth, all their shastra granth, it has been written by males, okay, because normally religions have been written down by males. They have actually degraded the female gender, क्योंकि अधिकतर रिलीजन में पुरुषों ने किताब लिखा है, इसीलिए उन्होंने स्त्रियों को हमेशा डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली नीचा दिखाया है. This happens in religion. So what I'm trying to tell you is, in spirituality there is gender equality. दोनों जेंडर को बराबर का हक देते हैं और बराबर का इज्जत और सम्मान देते हैं स्पिरिचुअलिटी में. स्पिरिचुअलिटी completely supports gender equality. Whereas in religion, generally religions don't support gender equality. To be very frank, okay, to be very frank and honest, religions normally don't support gender equality. Religions, they always have that, okay, the male is superior, female is less than the male. you know uh, uh, Religions happen to say that male and female no need to be equal. Always the male has to have the upper hand. So I mean these kind of things exist in religions, whereas in spirituality these kind of things does not exist. Now coming to the sixth point, spirituality makes us strong and humble, while religions make us egoistic, rude, arrogant, weak, and stubborn. What do I mean by this? When we talk about spirituality, spirituality makes us understand. See, no one is superior or inferior in this universe. Everyone and anyone who has life, anything which has life, has equal value to all the other life forms. Therefore, no one is superior or inferior to the other, and therefore, we cannot, we cannot try to act as if, we are above everyone else. So this is taught in spirituality. Whereas in religion, one more thing, spirituality also teaches us that just because somebody's opinion, just because somebody's points of views are not the same as yours, doesn't mean that that person is below you or wrong. Whereas in religion it teaches you that, okay, every religion, they will say that, okay, ours is the ultimate truth, our book is the only truth, our God is the only truth. All the others, they are fake. They are like, mithya drishti, or they are like, some people say all the others, they are the, what do you say, there is one word, I don't know what's that word. Okay, just leave that. Basically what religions do is, they try to, see, every religion, they will say that, okay, ours is true, our book is true, only our philosophy true, only our philosophy is true, all the rest are wrong, all the rest are ignorant, all the rest are wrong and false. This is what religion generally teaches. Whereas in spirituality, this does not exist. And because religions teach these fixed mindsets, that is why, normally if you see a lot of hardcore religious people, they are very stubborn, they can be rude, they can be arrogant. You tell, let's say for example, you try to explain something to one religious person. Let's say even if your explanation is logical, even whatever you are explaining to him is 100% logical, still let's say if that religious person does not agree with you, he will start responding very rudely. No, I believe this only. No, this is like that only. No, this is like this only. He will always try to prove his point, and that too by being rude, arrogant, stubborn, and very, you can say, what do you say, very harsh. So because in religion people have been taught a very fixed mindset. Even if you try to speak to them with logic and reason, if your logic does not match with their book, they will start becoming rude and arrogant with you. And not only will they be rude and arrogant with you, they will not hesitate to believe even the most illogical things. Okay, even if there are many things which are illogical, practically if you see and analyze, a lot of things can be illogical. But then even though they are illogical, if if these illogical things are also mentioned in some religious books, the religious people have no problem believing in that. On the other hand, even if you show them logical explanations, they will still refuse to accept your logical explanations. Why? Because because they have got this very rigid and they've got this very fixed and rigid mentality that okay, truth means only from this book. Truth is only our religion, only only our group, only our sect. That in Hindi we say panth, ye panth hai, wo panth hai. There are different kinds of panth. Panth means group. Panth. Panth means group. So in religions, basically, there is always groupism. There is a lot of groupism in religions, and in these groupisms, every religion, every group, they will always say that okay, ours is true, ours is true, they are wrong, we are right, they are always wrong. And not only among different religions, even within one religion, there can be two different sects, there can be multiple sects, and each sect will say that their sect is the truth. For example, in Christianity, in Christianity there is Catholic and Protestant. In Islam there is Sunni and Shia. In Jainism there is Digambar and Shwetambar. Jainism is not a religion, but then unfortunately, because a lot of Jains have unfortunately a lot of Jains have started to practice Jainism in a religious way. That is why today you see even in Jainism there is Digambar, Shwetambar, Bispanti, Terapanti, all these Digambar, Shwetambar, Bispanti, Terapanti, and Kanji Swami Digambar, Kanji Swami Digambar Panth, non-Kanji. I mean, even in the Digambar sect, there are actually two different sects. One is the Kanji Swami Digambar Panth. Another one is only the Digambar Panth. So a lot of these divisions and subdivisions have taken place ever since Jainism has been practiced in a religious way. So what I'm trying to tell you is, see, in religion, it is like there is always groupism. There is always this that okay, we as a group, we are perfect, they are wrong, we are always right, we are good, others are evil. Religion will normally teach you that okay, religion will say that only we are right, others are wrong and evil. Whereas in spirituality we are taught that see, we as human beings and we as living creatures, we as living beings, all of us, we have got ups and downs. All of us, we have got our pros and cons. All of us, we have got positive aspects and negative aspects. And what we can do is we can try to let go of our negative aspects, and we can try to focus more on our positive aspects, and we can strive and try to become perfect. This is what is taught in spirituality. So if you actually understand this, in another way, in spirituality, basically spirituality says that naturally no one is perfect. No living creature is perfect. Everyone has got ups and downs, everyone has got pros and cons. But we can try to become perfect. We can try and strive to become perfect. This is taught in spirituality. On the other hand, in religion, they say, okay, only ours is the truth, ours is perfect. In religion, every religion will claim, every religion on this planet, they will claim, ours is the truth, we are the only perfect ones, rest all are wrong, rest all are false. This is what religion does. And due to this, and exactly due to this reason, you will actually find that a lot of these religious people, they happen to be very rude, arrogant, very harsh, as I told you, they can be very egoistic. Religious people normally they can be very egoistic, harsh, rude, arrogant. And why do you think so? Because they have got this fixed mindset. They have been indoctrinated. They have been indoctrinated with a lot of these religious ideologies from their childhood. And which is why today, they have, for anything, for anything in life, religion normally has got a very dogmatic approach. Dogmatic means something which is really extreme, something beyond extremism. Anything beyond extremism. First of all, extreme means itself is extremism, and dogmatic means something which is beyond extremism. So normally speaking, religions have got a lot of dogmatic approach to a lot of things in life. Whereas on the other hand, spirituality, spirituality says that all of us has got ups and downs. We should try to let go of our negative aspects, and we should try to focus on our positive aspects and strive to be perfect in life. This is what is taught in spirituality. And due to this reason, and because spirituality teaches us that no one is superior or inferior, this is the reason you will find that all those people who are spiritual, they are normally very kind, very polite, very humble, very gentle, and they're always open to understanding new things. If you let's say for example you have acquired something new. You have acquired you have acquired knowledge about something something new. The spiritual people are always open to try. The spiritual people, they are always open to understanding your point of view about life. They're always open to new ideas and new techniques. They're always open to new information. They allow new information. They completely accept new information, and then they analyze it, and then they accept and then they accept what is required for them. So see, irrespective to how much they accept, basically people who are spiritual, but not religious, they are always open to new ideas. They are always very innovative. They have got lot of critical thinking skills. They think critically. They have got an open mind. They're always welcoming new ideas. And this is the reason why spiritual people are very kind, humble, and gentle all the time. Now, coming to the seventh point, spirituality sees things in a holistic way, unlike religion. As I just told you, spirituality, they try to understand the complete background before coming into judgments. For example, as I told you, in religion, what most religious people will do, they will just see a person, boy, or let's say especially when it comes to girls, let's say a religious man, he sees a girl wearing very short dress. He will say, oh, what a shameless girl, why is she dressed like that, this and that. All these nonsense they will start talking about. This man, let's say this man, whoever it is, he or she, some XYZ religious person, he does not know that girl. Some girl is walking on the road, or let's say he sees some girl in the mall wearing a very short dress. Without even knowing that girl, without even knowing what that girl does, without even knowing the without even knowing the biography of that girl, just by looking at that girl's dress, he will start throwing out judgments. Oh, she's dressed like that. Oh, very shameless. She might be a prostitute. She might be she might be some characterless person. All these nonsense and all these, I'm sorry to use this word, excuse me, all these vulgar bullshit and nonsense things they will start spitting out of their mouth just by looking at that girl's dress. They will start throwing out judgments. They will start throwing out judgments from their mouth just by looking at a girl's dress or just by looking at a girl's appearance, etc. This is what religions do. Whereas whereas in spirituality, it says that you have to look at everything in a very holistic way. In spirituality, no one is judged by their dressing. In spirituality, no one is looked down upon for choosing, in spirituality, no boy or girl is looked down upon for choosing the dress they want to wear. Spirituality is about going inwards. As long as you know how to go inwards, as long as you are trying to understand nature of reality, as long as you are trying to understand who you are, it does not matter of what you wear externally on yourself. And also one more thing, spirituality will say, just because you saw a girl in a certain way, this does not mean that you can judge her character by this. First and foremost, I'll just tell you this once in this video. First and foremost, every boy and every girl have complete rights and freedom to choose what they want to wear and what they don't want to wear. So dressing is a personal choice, and everyone, be it boy or girl, male or female, men and women, all of them, we have the right to dress the way we want. Anyone can dress the way we want, and just like a man, even a girl, even a woman, even a lady has every right to dress the way she wants to dress. But we have no authority, we have no rights and authority to comment on her character just by looking at her dress. So in spirituality, it will say that if you want to judge a person's, in spirituality, it is taught that if you want to judge, if you really want to judge someone, judge them only by their actions and thoughts, not by their dressing. Just because you saw a girl in a certain dress doesn't mean that her character is so and so. No, you cannot do that. She can be dressed however. What matters is how pure and how good is her heart, how good is her mind, how good is her intentions. These things matter. So never ever judge a person by their appearance. Just like how we say, don't judge a book by its cover. It says never ever judge a book by its cover. Just like that, you should never judge a person's character by their dressing and appearance. If you really want to judge someone, boy or girl, just try to understand their thoughts and actions. And you can judge them only by their thoughts and actions, but not by their appearance. Because whatever is their appearance and whatever they wear, it is completely their personal choice, and it is their right. It is their rights and their freedom. They can dress the way they want to. So if you really want to judge someone, first of all, why do you want to judge others? Okay, why do you want to be judgmental in the first place? But if you really do want to judge others, just judge them by their actions and thoughts and not by their physical appearance. So this is taught in spirituality, unlike in religions. Coming to the 8th point, yes, in spirituality, sorry guys, too much of pressure on my legs. Okay, don't worry. Okay, yeah. So coming to the 8th point, in spirituality, see, because there is no extremism, because there is no fanaticism, and because there is no dogmatism, there is no fanaticism, no dogmatism, no fixed mindset, no fixed rules, no fixed ideologies, That is why in spirituality, you know, there can never be any kind of cult in spirituality. So basically, cultism can never take place to those people who are spiritual. On the other hand, speaking about religions, okay, speaking about religions, religion can religion in the long run can become into a cult. Now you might ask, what is a cult? Basically, a cult is an extreme form of religion. Can you believe this? First of all, religion itself, okay, only religion itself is something like, which has got a very fixed mindset, something which is very rigid, and something which is normally considered quite extreme, and which is quite extreme. But on the other hand, when you talk about a cult is an extreme form of religion. Cult is something which is more dogmatic, and fanatic than religions also. And normally cults are formed by religions only. Even if you go to the US, in America, there are so many cults. There are so many religious cults. There are in fact religious cults, satanic cults. There are in fact, a lot of these. There is one cult called as polygamy, Polygamy, polygamy. Polygamy is actually, it is a form of cult in the US. Actually, the government of US has actually banned polygamy, but then still, very secretly in some areas of US, this particular cult is being practiced even today, polygamy. So you can just go and Google about polygamy and see what is that cult about. You will be shocked about what happens in these cults. So regarding cults, I will tell you, go to Google and just type cults and see for yourself. Go and type polygamy cults. Go and type polygamy on Google and check for yourself. And there is this another cult as well called as the Jehovah Witness. Actually, in Christianity, mainly there are two sects, Catholic and Protestant. And apart from these two groups, there is actually one more group in Christianity called the Jehovah Witness. The Jehovah's Witness. It's actually, a group of people. You can actually Google about this. Even the Christians, even the Protestants and the Catholics, they actually don't like the Jehovah Witness. The Catholics and the Protestants are generally religious people, okay? The Catholics and the Protestants, the Christians who are Catholics and Protestants, they are religious people. They follow religion, not cult. But then this group of people known as the Jehovah's Witness, they are actually less of a religion and more of a cult. Initially they were also practicing Christianity only, but then at a point of time they became really they became really extreme in their ideologies, that from being religious they formed a cult. After being religious from Christianity, they actually formed a cult. They formed this very hardcore cult called as the Jehovah's Witness. And this Jehovah's Witness, this cult is so extreme. Even the Catholics and the Protestants, they don't like Jehovah Witness. They don't like people who are from the Jehovah. They don't welcome or like the people who are members of the Jehovah's Witness. Why? Because it has become a cult. So speaking about religion, if it becomes very extreme, it can turn out to be a cult. And Jehovah Witness is not a very, Jehovah's Witness is not a very violent cult as compared to many other cults, because generally when you say cult, there is lot of things, there are in fact a lot of things which happens in a cult. Just go to Google and type what lot of people have done in the name of cult. What are the activities and crimes people have committed in the name of cults. Just go and just go do research and Google it for yourself. You will understand. Not only on Google, from various places. Do your own research. Go to public libraries and take a book about cults and try to read about cults. You will know what are the most horrific, the most horrible, the horrific, and what are the most miserable and the most terrible things people have done to little children, to animals, to women, in the name of cult. A lot of horrible things have happened. Just go do research on that by yourself. So what I'm trying to tell you, so a cult is a more extreme form of religion. So first of all, speaking about religion itself, when you say religion, it itself means very fixed mindset, very rigid mindset, fixed rules, fixed a fixed type, very fixed principles, etc. And religions, they don't welcome new ideas. They don't welcome new ideas and they don't allow change. On the other hand, not spirituality. On the other hand, when you talk about cult, a cult is a more extreme form of religion. So speaking about religion on the long run, it can turn out to become a cult. Whereas on the other hand, speaking about spirituality, anyone who is practicing spirituality, they will never ever form cults and they will never ever be extreme at all. In spirituality, always people are welcoming new ideas and new ideas and new thoughts. People are very innovative, both spiritually and scientifically. People are very innovative in spirituality, or those people who practice spirituality. Whereas in religion, this is not the case. I just explained to you. A religion which a religion on the long run can turn out to become a cult. So so this will never happen to those people who are on the spiritual path. Okay, so this is the 8th point. Anyone who is following spirituality will never ever fall into the trap of cults. You will never be trapped into a cult if when you're on the spiritual path. Speaking about the 9th point, spirituality unites us even to strangers, just as our family members, while religion can even break a bond between a mother and her child due to differences of opinions and points of views. In spirituality, even we welcome a stranger's opinion. I mean, first we try to analyze and understand what is the opinion of others. So in spirituality, even a stranger's opinion. So in spirituality, even a stranger's opinion is welcome. Is welcomed and and it is respected. Whereas in religion, only because of differences in points of views, you can build up rivalry. You can build up this hatredness in you. There can be rivalry formed, or there can be enemies formed, enemies caused within a family, within a family. Sometimes, only because of differences in opinions. In religions, because of differences of opinions, it can be so extreme that even a mother and a even a mother and her child will start behaving like enemies with each other, because they have got differences in opinions. In religion, it is always like, okay, whatever the parents follow, exactly the same thing even the child should follow. Whatever the mother is following, the same thing even the child should also do. But in spirituality, we are, spirituality makes us understand that even a mother and a child, okay, they might be, they might be from the same family. Okay, the child might be the lady's, the child might be the lady's son or daughter. But even a mother and a child, they are two different people, and every life is unique in its own way. Therefore, every life has the right to live their lives and to seek the truth, and to practice their principles in life in their way, whether or not it is the same. And we have to respect everyone's way of life. This is taught in spirituality. On the other hand, in religion can be very extreme, that even a bond between a mother and a child can nearly be damaged just due to differences of opinions and beliefs. Just because, let's say, a mother's child has got some beliefs and some opinions different from that of his or her mother, that mother will start yelling at the child, sometimes even hitting the child, and all these physical and emotional violence, too much of bhav hinsa, physical, dravya hinsa, bhav hinsa, all these take place just because there are some differences of opinions. This is what happens in religion. When you have got this very fixed, this fixed and rigid philosophy, I mean not philosophy also, fixed and rigid rules and fixed and rigid beliefs. Even if your own son or daughter has got some beliefs different from you, you will start seeing your own son and daughter as your biggest enemy, as your biggest rival or enemy. So this is what religion can do to you. So before coming to the conclusion, I just want to say, see, and me being a Jain, I have to say this, forgive me please, but I have to address this issue. The biggest problem with a lot of Jains today is that they happen to practice Jainism in a religious way, whereas Jainism is a spiritual philosophy. In fact, even all our 24 Jain Tirthankars, all our 24 enlightened masters, our 24 gods, our 24 Jain Tirthankars, before, when they were on earth, before attaining moksha, they have always taught us to be spiritual and not religious. So Jainism being a spiritual philosophy needs to be practiced in a spiritual way. And once you start practicing Jainism in a spiritual way, believe me, believe it or not believe me, you can trust me, okay, you can trust me, whether you believe it or not, the day we start practicing Jainism in a spiritual way, that day a lot of people in the world, they will embrace Jainism as well. Even today, if you ask anyone in the world, okay, if you ask 99.9% of the people in the world, if you ask them which philosophy or which religion, actually Jainism is not a religion, But then if you ask them which religion is the most peaceful in the world, 99 or 99.9% of the people in the world, they will say the most peaceful religion on this planet is Jainism. They will say it is Jainism. But why do you think a lot of people don't embrace it? They might respect Jainism. They do respect Jainism. A lot of people have got so much of respect for Jains and Jainism. But why is that they don't embrace Jainism? Because the mistake is, most of the Jains, most of us as Jains, these days, in today's generation, we happen to practice Jainism in a religious way and not in a spiritual way. So when you practice something in a religious way, even if you practice a spiritual philosophy in a religious way, that philosophy will sound very dogmatic and very rigid, dogmatic, and that philosophy may sound very fanatic and dogmatic and very rigid to most people. Even though your principles might be promoting peace and non-violence, might be promoting, might be about ahimsa, but the way you practice Jainism as a whole, regarding this, regarding how, regarding how we, regarding how we are practicing Jainism in a religious way, I will discuss this in, I will discuss this in any one of my next videos, because this video is already gone too long now. Okay, but one thing I'll tell you, the day we as Jains start practicing Jainism in a spiritual way, trust me, most of the people in the world, they will embrace Jainism. Now today, this very moment, 99.9% of the world respects Jainism. The only reason why a lot of people don't want to embrace it is because they have seen a lot of Jains, though they are peaceful, but some of their beliefs, some of their concepts, they happen to preach it in a very religious way as compared to in a spiritual way. So when you practice Jainism in a religious way, though people might respect it, they will not feel to embrace it. So what I'm trying to tell you is, even a spiritual philosophy, if practiced in a religious way, it will look very fanatic and dogmatic. On the other hand, even a religious philosophy, if you practice it in a spiritual way, it will be very beautiful. So even let's say we as Jains, let's say if we have to, whenever we discard eating non-veg, drinking alcohol, doing hunting, and what else, eating honey, gambling, etc. When we as Jains, even when we condemn these activities, we have to do it in a certain way. I'll just give you one example. Let's say some Jains, they will say, oh, this person, he's eating non-veg, stay away from him, he's a papi, वो बंदा मांसाहारी है, वो दुष्ट पापी है, उससे दूर रहो, अरे ये तो शराबी है, उससे दूर रहो, अरे क्या ये लड़का ने इंटरकास्ट मैरिज कर लिया, अरे ची उससे दूर रहो. This is not the mentality you should have. These are the mentalities of a religion. So as I was telling you, that Jainism is a very beautiful philosophy, and Jainism is the biggest spiritual philosophy of this universe. But the problem is that the followers of Jainism, who are the Jains, the followers of Jainism in today's generation, a lot of them, they happen to preach Jainism in a very religious way. They have actually turned the spiritual philosophy of Jainism into a religious philosophy. That is why, sometimes, you might feel that, okay, though they might be peaceful, they have got these very rigid points. So they have got these very rigid beliefs and, very, very hardcore fixed mindsets, due to which a lot of people refrain from embracing Jainism. So regarding how to practice Jainism spiritually, I will explain in one of my next videos. But then for now, I would like to conclude this video over here. So in conclusion, what I'm trying to tell you is science and spirituality. I repeat, science and spirituality is equal to the ultimate reality. If you want to understand reality, you need to be scientific and spiritual. Spirituality and science are the what you can say are the two jewels or the two seeds which will help you discover the ultimate truth of life. And not only it will help you to discover the ultimate truth of life, it will also help this world to become a better place. So in short, what I want to tell you is, if we need peace in this world, we need to respect other people's points, we need to respect other people's points of views. We need to respect and accept others for who they are. I'm not saying that we should let people do anything. For example, let's say if there is a murderer or a rapist, we cannot say, okay, let him be who he is. No. If there is a murderer, let's say for example, if there is a murderer or a rapist, those murderers and rapists should be put behind bars, should be put in jail, and even given the death penalty. That is there. What I'm trying to tell you is, in our other daily activities, when it comes to praying to God, when it comes to how we pray to God, when it comes to using certain tools to do puja, when it comes to having our concept of God, we need to accept other people for who they are. We just because we have got difference in opinions, we cannot keep fighting with each other, and we cannot keep calling others as papi, mithya drishti, etc. We need to learn to try to understand others' points of views, and also we need to learn to accept others for who they are, and we need to respect both the genders equally. We need to respect men and women equally. But if ever we have to give one gender a superior status, I will always say we need to give women a higher status than men. Women should be given a higher status than men, because it is from them we all are born. Both women and men, when we are born, we come from women itself. Okay, every living being is born from the female gender, be it humans, animals, birds, insects. In every creature, every species, when that creature or when that human being is born, we are born from the females. So generally we have to give both the genders equal respect. But if ever we have to give someone a higher status, me personally, I will say women should be given a much higher status, and women should be given more respect than men. Okay, so the conclusion is that accept others, respect both the genders, and try to understand others' points of views. And overall, what I want to tell you is, if we need to make this world a very peaceful world, if this world has to be a peaceful place, if this world has to be a better place for all of us, we need to be scientific, okay? We need to be scientific and spiritual. So the presence of science, the presence of science and spirituality, and the absence of religion is what will make this world a very peaceful place to live. That's it, guys. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate all of you for bearing with me until the end of this video. Now I will just end this video by reciting the Namokar Mahamantras. After this, I will just end this video, and I will catch all of you in my next video. Okay? Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhaatmanam, Namo Ayiryanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loye Savvasahunam, Eso Panchanamokaro Savvapavappanasano, Mangalanancha Savvesim Padamamahavai Mangalam. Thank you, guys. Jai Jinendra, Jai Siddhaatma. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, and also please hit the bell icon, and I will see all of you very soon in my next video. Till then, take care. Have a nice day.